All right, I'm back for a second video, Movember moment number 2. First things first, how's my mustache doing? Not much yet. How many days are we in? It's now November 5th. Hang in there. By the end of the month, there should be some kind of something there. Okay, I'll keep it short today because I already did a whole video explaining the whole Movember awareness donations thing. In the last one, I'll link to the previous video below. I'll also link to the donations link below. And of course, please do keep questions coming. I'll try to answer at least one question in every video. So I kind of need your questions to keep going. So if you have a question, send it in an email, send it by commenting on this video on Substack, on YouTube, wherever you're watching this, and I'll get into it. All right, today I want to answer one question, or actually two questions, but I'm going to try to answer them as one question by one of my other co-workers at Roost Games, Claire, and she asked the following two questions. What would you like to say to people, or men in particular, who are going through the awful journey of cancer right now? That's question number one. And what would you tell people, or men in particular, who think they have bipolar disorder? I'm gonna do a little bit of a disclaimer here on my part. First is that I had the luck, in quotes, that I at least for the cancer side of things, I got better. And of course, cancer is an awful disease, whether you get better or not. But of course, if you're I can't speak to the situation of having cancer and knowing that you're not going to survive. That I don't know how I don't know what I would say to myself in that situation, really. And I most definitely don't know what I should say to somebody who is going through that. As a first disclaimer, and as a second, more general disclaimer, of course, all cases of cancer and even all cases of bipolar are like super different. So this is a very not a one-size-fits-all kind of question, but I'll try to give a one-size-fits-all kind of answer anyway, and then you can just see what you want to do with that. And I gave this some thought, and I think my most important core of this answer would be acceptance. And that might sound very easy, but I know for a fact that it's really hard. But I do also know that the moment I started accepting that I had cancer, or accepting that I had bipolar disorder, it became a lot easier, or at least it became a lot easier to live with it. So in the last video, I mentioned the side effects of chemo, for example, like I have tingly fingers, especially in winter times, and tingly toes, and sort of a numbness, especially when I wake up in the morning and when it's cold. Especially in the first year or two, that was really hard to deal with because it sort of kept throwing me back in the situation where I was sick, or where I was in the hospital, or where I was. That's just not a great place to be in your head. But the moment I started accepting that, it became a lot easier. And saying this, I do also realize that I wish I knew how I did that, accepting that, but I don't. But with a lot of help, also from therapists and from people around me. But over time, and time is in this case also an important factor, it did start to move to the background more. And this goes for both for cancer and also for the bipolar disorder. And for the cancer specifically, I also remember that when I was still being treated for it, acceptance also helped me. And again, I don't know exactly how I did it, but at some point I realized, okay, I'm just going to have to lie in a bed and get all these chemicals in my body, because it's the only way I can survive this. And I know that the days that I managed to accept that were a lot easier. I could just in some way at least relax to a certain extent than the days that I found it hard to accept it, that I was in the situation. So so if I can answer it in one word, I would say acceptance is the answer to your questions. maybe you can do something with this. I don't know. Anyway, that was my answer to the question. Keep the questions coming. Again, you can comment on this video, send an email, however you like. As long as the question reach me, I'll try to do something with it. And please don't forget, if you've made it all the way to this part of the video and you liked it, share it wherever you want. I think sharing is way more important than donating. The awareness is the biggest part of this whole thing. If you still feel like donating after that, then of course I won't stop you. The link for donations are in the description. And again, yeah, just keep the questions coming, keep sharing, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay.